I'm Bruce Harrison, the chaplain here at Redcar and Cleveland College. Yeah, it's actually not it sounds a straightforward question, but there are many facets to it. And I think my main theology is about caring. The Gospels tell us about caring for each other. And I think that's what we do, with no strings attached, irrespective of faith, whether it's a faith or not. That would be my personal theology, really. My honest view is that the mission of chaplaincy is about caring for everyone, to encourage people to think about themselves, so they can care for themselves. We live in times when a lot of people don't care for themselves. They don't even like themselves, let alone anything else. And I think part of our mission is to share God's unconditional love. And I often say this a lot, that He loves us in spite of who we are, what we are, whether we're good people or bad people, whatever. He loves us unconditionally. And I guess that's what we try to say to students here, you are loved. And they find that really hard, because I think in this area, I don't think many of our students feel liked or loved. And I think any chaplaincy, any church group, it is about caring. And if you care genuinely, there will be change. We're mainly based here, but they know at the other campus sites that if they need us, then we will go over. We have done sessions over at the other places. I think here, because of the area that we live, which is known to be a deprived area, there are so many issues. One of the main ones is that people don't feel loved or cared for. And one of the things about these colleges is that we do care, and we don't judge. We sit and we listen. If necessary, we pass information on. But it is about being accessible to both staff and students, because we're not just chaplains for the students. We're chaplains from the cleaner upwards. And we have had quite a lot of staff situations where we've just chatted to people. We're here twice a week, although if there's a particular issue comes up, we can be contacted and we do come in. But we only do the hour. Sometimes we're here a bit longer than the hour, because we come in lunchtime. So we try not to interfere with the students' lunch. But by just sitting outside in the atrium, people will just stop and say hello and just have a chat. If time permitted, we would probably do more, and we are volunteers. We're not paid. We're not part of the establishment, as it were, which gives us that bit of freedom to chat with the principal, chat with the cleaner. Yeah, we go into classrooms and we do sessions on bereavement, what happens at a funeral, because a lot of our students, they don't know. We've been into public services, where they're training, learning about the police and other things, talking about people's lives, because we started because of quite a few suicides within a couple of years. And people asking questions, well, what happens when you die? What happens at a funeral? So we get involved in those. We've done sessions on a thing called Grave Talk, which is where, we say, well, how would you want to be remembered when you die? And it's amazing. People don't think about it. Do they want to be known as a nice person or a not nice person? So yeah, they're the sort of sessions we do. We have in the past gone into staff meetings. We have talked to the whole staff group of who we are, what we're about, because the staff here until recently have been quite stable. But when you get new staff in, we don't know them and they don't know us. So Jason, the principal, is very good at sort of making sure that people know who we are. We're in the handbook. We're not just sort of a fleeting thing, really. Yeah, at Christmas, which is probably our biggest thing, we do a carol service out in the atrium, and it's done at lunchtime, and students aren't forced to sort of stop eating, but they all have the words of any of the carols. We've had a bishop in the past come and do the Christmas message. We have a tree up that if they want to write on a card the name of a loved one they want to remember, then that goes on there, and then I take it to one of our local churches for midnight communion. They're not read, but they're all prayed over. When Easter time, when we were in sort of the week before, we did have the woodwork department made us 3 crosses that were put out in the entrance as you came into college. And we have tried to sort of, if it's been possible, to remember other faith festivals, so that we can't be accused of just doing the Christian bit. The other thing I should have mentioned in the previous question, we've taken students to the mosque to so they can have an understanding of what other faiths are about. Realistically, it would be great if there was funding to pay a permanent chaplain, because there is enough work. And I don't mean by that just a curate who's linked to a church, but somebody who is solely responsible for the total spiritual well-being of all the students and staff. I think to me that's what has to happen.
Well, I'm Ed Evans, one of the chaplains here with Bruce. And I've been chaplain here for about 10 years now. Bruce has been a bit longer. Yes, I've spent my career as a teacher in construction, in further education, and a big part of that was here at the college. And since then we've moved on to being governors on the board, and now giving back a little bit of what I can to the chaplaincy. This morning, outside or in the college here, we are having welcoming of new students, and we got the knowledge that a student had lost a brother, so he was brought in just to welcome the student and the student's mother, and to explain what we're here for, so that she went away understanding and comfortable with her child coming here. We had a special needs student who we helped to guide through the college's life, and when he'd finished his course, the only thing he could do was come up and put his head on my shoulder, and that was worth everything that we've done. Support, being here, and to show that there is something, whatever they want to call it, I like to call it Christ or God is with them, and he's been with me and brought me here to them. Possibly a bit more funding, a bit not help, because we have a fantastic relationship with the college department, the student services. That has been a fantastic support throughout our time here, and it's the continuation of that, I think, and the facility to be able to continue and develop that.
I'm Tom, and I'm a Resilience and Wellbeing Officer at the college. And within that role I kind of work with the enrichment team. So when it comes to having the chaplains in, we do things like organising events or organising tutorials and how they can support and get involved with those. In terms of our department, so student support and wellbeing, I'd say they're very valuable. In terms of what we do and what we offer, it's not just students but also staff. So in terms of the support that they can give, it can be absolutely anything. It could be something to do like coping with a major trauma, or it could just be helping with people if they're feeling overwhelmed by stress or exam stress, for example. I think one of the main things, especially with our chaplains, is that they're always there to listen. Obviously we only have them in 2 days for an hour generally, however if you need that time they will give their support as much as they can, and it's just having someone who can provide that empathy and that care, that support, someone who's there to listen, so someone can air their problems to or their issues, and if you just need that person to listen to them, they're always there for that. So with our chaplains as well, I'd like them in terms of approachability, accessibility and also funding. They are there and give a lot of their own time for this, and obviously predominantly they are more based at the Redcar and Cleveland site. However, it'd be great if we could have them across all sites, or more accessible across all sites, just because what we do I think it is valuable, and it also links in and supports with what the welfare teams do. So in terms of that, again, just having that extra support and more to give to the students or staff as well, again, just to have that extra, I think will be very valuable.
Being a chaplain is a privilege. It's not easy work, it's hard work, but the rewards you can't measure. And if we change one person's life, if we save one person from taking their own life, then we've achieved what we set out to do.